Okay, so to start off the big ranking of all the Doctor Who episodes, which will take me a while because I have not seen nearly enough of the first, second, and fourth Doctors. But we have Doctor that introduced probably most of my generation and the generation before me, and that is, of course, Christopher Eccleston's Ninth Doctor. So, yeah, first up, we have, where is it? Rose. Um, I'd say it's somewhere around fantastic and good, maybe a bit more fantastic because it reintroduces Doctor Who and has one of my favorite villains, that being the Autons. I don't know. It has some problematic people in it, though, which, and also the bin. The bin's just big Doctor Who. Anyways, moving on, we have The End of the World, which, in my opinion, is just good. Like, it's not as good as Rose, but it still has some good qualities, especially with Doctor and stuff. Uh, yeah. Next up, we have The Unquiet Dead, which personally I liked a little bit more than The End of the World. But then again, I've watched it like once 5 years ago. I should just really rewatch Eccleston. And if someone says you, obviously, you can't do whatever you want. There's no right order to all of this. But don't skip 9. 9 is great. Okay, episode 4 and 5. We have Aliens of London and World War III, which both of are just brilliant, and especially the Slithy is just such a fun villain, even if, the farting gets old real fast. Then we have The Goat, that is Dalek, written by Robert Sherman, of course, who, which is basically, which is loosely based on, uh, what's, which is loosely based on the Big Finish story Jubilee, but doesn't have much in common except for the fact that there's a Dalek and it's caged. But yeah, what hasn't been said about this? It's just bloody fantastic and featured, and I just remember watching it and how terrifying it was. Seeing the Dalek go upstairs and fucking multi-kill people and like with the water and stuff. Okay, next up we have the most mid episode ever with the most stupid secondary companion. I'm sorry, Adam, but not sorry. Was he really necessary? Was he? And then I think later on in one of the comics, he went on to be a villain with the parallel universe 10th Doctor or whatever. Like, what the? Just, it's not great. It's, yeah. Uh, Next up, we have Father's Day, which I forget is here, but it's another one of the goats. We're halfway through, you think the doctor's dead. That's just it, and obviously explore some themes with Rose and her father, and yeah, it's just a brilliant episode. Then we have another goat, the empty child, and the Doctor dances, which is a very terrific horror story, I'd say, even in Doctor Who, set in the Second World War, with mummy children and not children. Yeah, if you've not seen it, I recommend it thoroughly. It's just haunting at times and just brilliant. Then we have Boomtown, which is, while it's, not fantastic per se, it's fun, it's light-hearted, it has Margaret the Slovene again, and I particularly like the scene with the Doctor and Margaret in the restaurant, just sort of hanging out, trying not to get killed by Margaret. The Doctor is, anyways. And then, to round off the season, we have the second Dalek story, of course, which is Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways, which, wow, now that we knew that one Dalek was bad enough, what could a whole empire of them do? Well, I mean, they can do quite a lot. They fucking almost killed the Doctor, killed Captain Jack, and yeah. I remember not knowing that the Doctor can regenerate, and it's just I didn't know what would happen. But then, of course, good old David Tennant showed up, and on the show went.